Good evening, fellow water drinkers. I've gathered you guys here this evening to talk to you about Fiji brand water and its impacts, both good and bad, on the country of Fiji. Not everybody has it as easy as us. I'm sure we're all grateful for the clean water that comes magically out of our tap with the pull of a handle, and we're grateful because not every country has this luxury. Fiji is one of those countries. Because of that, there has been quite the backlash, with some people claiming exploitation by Fiji brand water. As some of you have been this topic for a few years now, but I've just recently been able to research deeper into the facts and rebuttals involved in the controversy surrounding this issue. Tonight I want to inform you of what I found during my research and the effects the company has had on the Fijian people and their economy, as well as the environment. One thing that has impacted the people of Fiji in regards to this, I've discovered, is clean water. Fiji Water has an artisan aquifer in the Ikera Valley of Fiji Levu, where they have the sole rights to this water source, while about half of Fijians don't have access to clean water. As means of giving back to the people, though, the Fiji Water Foundation has a water filter project that helps solve the problem of this lack of clean water. As reported by FIJIWaterProject.org, they provide the technical support and funding to bring clean solutions to communities, schools, and health centers where they hadn't been before. In other words, the company's defense is the water problems would be there whether they were or not, and they're only solving the problem, not creating it. Another issue brought up by critics is the company's tolerance of the unelected military regime in the country, which has been in power since 2006. You see, Fiji has been under martial law since 2009. The company has come under fire for not only interacting with this regime, but for hiring a company with close military ties to protect its water facilities. Fiji Water did issue a response to this criticism, saying that they have and will continue to invest considerably in the people of Fiji, and they solidly object to the idea that them doing business in Fiji somehow legitimizes a military dictatorship. We talked about the controversial issues surrounding the Fijian people and the company's response, but what about the consequences, both good and bad, on the economy? Something I think is important to discuss is the possible and supposed exploitation of the Fijian people. According to greenbiz.org, was only paying a third of a Fijian cent per liter in taxes to the government. This is equivalent of $500,000 a year, compared to the hundreds of millions they were making in revenue. When the government tried to raise the tax to 15 Fijian cents per liter, the company threatened to shut down the plant, fire everyone, and leave the country. And they did, for 48 hours. After 2 days, they reopened and agreed to the new tax rate. This had been the second attempt within the past decade to raise the taxes. The government felt they had to hold strong and call out the company's bluff. Despite what some allege as a tax break, Fiji maintains they are creating economic development. According to their official website, FIJIWater.com, they provide jobs, contributing income where there just aren't that many jobs. These jobs also include healthcare, which is not typical for developing nations. They also create jobs in related fields like packaging manufacturers, hospitality, logistics, transportation, and tourism. They insist that they're a source of foreign investment, advertising Fiji around the globe, and thus inciting interest in tourism and ultimately boosting the economy. So far, I've spoken about the effects of the people and the economy of Fiji, and next I'm going to speak to you a little bit about the impact on the environment. A major problem that is some people scratching their heads is the green claim of Fiji Water. According to MotherJones.com, despite the company claiming that they run on only biofuels, the actual plant runs on diesel generators. The plastic used to make the bottles is made in a diesel factory in China and then shipped to them, polluting and creating waste along the way. They ship their water in heavy plastic bottles to the other side of the world. Aside from the energy costs and waste created in the processing of the plastic bottles, the actual shipping of the bottles across the globe is pollution-causing and without benefit, since they're coming to a country that has an innumerable amount of clean water sources. The company has many different practices in place in regards to reducing waste caused by the production of the bottled water. They maintain that their bottles are 100% recyclable and made from plastic that is in high demand for recycling. The cartons that they ship and store the bottles of water in are made of 100% recycled material. Also, the bottling plant sorts and recycles 95% of all waste generated at the facility, and the remaining 5% is mostly biodegradable. They also have paid close attention to eliminate the potential negative environmental impact from their shipping process. They ship as much as possible by ocean freight, which is the most environmentally friendly method. They take shipping routes that may take longer but will result in fewer greenhouse gas emissions. As well as reducing their own carbon footprint, FIJI Water also has other sustainability causes that they support. Along with Conservation International, they are preserving Fiji's largest remaining unprotected rainforest, Sobi Basin, that expands 50,000 acres. They are also a member of the 1% for the Planet, which is made up of more than 1,200 brands and companies that donate 1% of their sales to environmental cause-supporting organizations. After presenting this research that I found, you can see that both sides of this controversy claim to have the best interests of the Fijian people, economy, and environment in mind. Do you think that they're exploiting this country's natural resources, people, and/or the environment? Or are they assisting a developing country with very limited resources to compete with the rest of the world's economy and aiding conservation efforts for the environment? The end.